Hey, what's up guys? So this is a special video because we have a brand new Virtual Pianist from UJAM, and this one's really cool. It's probably my favorite out of all the editions so far. This is the fourth one in the series, and just taking a look at their webpage here, this one is called the Imperfect Upright Piano, and it has a really nice, well-aged indie character to it. Great for creating emotional piano tracks easily. It says, create emotional piano tracks with Virtual Pianist RELIC, inspired by iconic musical eras from John Lennon's Imagine to Rihanna's Stay. If you can't play, use the built-in pianist for real musical performances. If you do play, the instrument mode puts a beautifully imperfect upright at your fingertips, and so much more. So you get a hand-picked upright piano with 5 distinct character models, a built-in pianist with hundreds of phrases and intuitive real-time control, and then you get their finisher, which helps with finishing off your sound and completing the sonic characteristics that you're going for. It's like having a built-in effect chain that you can kind of tweak the sound of your overall piano sound. And then as far as presets go, you have 150 presets to find your sound, style, or just inspiration in no time. And it looks like RELIC right now is $49 for an intro offer, which is pretty cool. I really wish as a creator on YouTube, they still had an affiliate program because I really love UJAM's products, from their Beatmaker plugins to this Virtual Pianist series. It's really just a big bummer that they have taken that affiliate opportunity away from us creators. I was really bummed when they sent the email out saying that it's a better decision for their business. And yeah, I don't know. I love that a lot of companies out there are willing to work with creators and share a little bit of the revenue earned from talking about these new products that are coming out. So for them to discontinue that program just really bummed me out, but they're still sending me the products to test out and share with you guys and talk about the latest upcoming plugins that they're releasing. So while that's cool and I get an NFR license or a license to review these things, I just hope down the line, maybe as UJAM grows and their business changes, maybe they open that back up for us creators and allow us to earn a little bit of something by talking about their products and getting it out in front of people's eyeballs and into their ears. So with that aside, I want to talk about RELIC here because this is, like I said, my favorite version of the Virtual Pianist series so far. I love anything that has an indie character to it, and this upright, like it says, is imperfect, but it just has such a nice, warm, true songwriter vibe to it, in my opinion. So right now I just have Virtual Pianist pulled up, and I also have UJAM's drums pulled up as well. I've been exploring more of UJAM's Symphonic Elements collection and really digging into the drums because I love high impact drums. And while a lot of the different presets within UJAM's drums are pretty heavy and made for more cinematic, fast paced kind of drum parts, I've managed to make it work with RELIC here, and I'll just play the first preset from RELIC called Run With Me along with UJAM's drums and show you what kind of music I'm making with this imperfect upright piano. So that is the first thing I've made with RELIC so far, and I spent the afternoon going through every single preset inside of RELIC, and there are a lot of them. There's 150 presets in total. And I like how they have that separated out in terms of the style or the intent that you're going for with your piano sound. So it's broken down into categories. You have introduction, soft and dark, strong and bold, pads and atmospheres, experimental and remixed, as well as styles and standards. I would say out of all these categories so far, soft and dark, strong and bold, and probably styles and standards are the 3 that I've been using most so far. And to show you that I really did go through every single preset inside of RELIC, I actually made a note on my computer of my favorite presets. And you can see here, this is a huge list of presets that I've liked from this upright piano. And I even went in and tested a lot of them without the effects, and you'll see that if I didn't really care for the overall preset, I tested it without the finisher effects and took them off, and you can see magic kindling here, no effects. I really like the root sound and root piece, the pattern that was playing, and I just notated any of those where I made that distinction. So yeah, there's a ton of presets inside of RELIC that sound really good to my ears and feels highly usable for songwriting. So that's just the first preset, and I really wish with Virtual Pianist you could favorite presets. There's no starring system or hearting system. You can't really separate the presets you like out most for easy access later on, which is a big bummer. I know you can save the preset and create your own presets and everything, but I really think that every plugin nowadays should have some way to favorite presets. That way you can go back later on and easily find a previous preset that you were using. For example, for UJAM's drums, because they are NKS compatible, I'm using it all the time inside of Complete Control version 3. And if you go into my library here, you'll see that I have a ton of presets favorited from Symphonic Element drums. And it's the same way with all of my different plugins that I use, whether it's something from Native Instruments like Farlight here, which is a vocal library. If I just go to my favorites, I'm using favorites all the time for all of my different plugins because I want to be able to go back and have a quick reference later on to easily access something that I've liked. And doing it this way doesn't require saving a user preset where it's separated out, because all the user presets inside of Complete Control are right here. You'll see I have no user presets so far. So I'm really the type of person that utilizes a favoriting system, and that's something that you don't get with the Virtual Pianist series. It'd be great if in an update in the future that is added to it. I think it'd be really useful for music makers and producers. So I'm going to keep this note handy and kind of go through some of these presets inside of Relic that I really liked and just go through. I'm going to eyeball this and just see if I remember anything that really stuck out to me when I was exploring the presets. Let's go back to All the Color Everywhere and see how that sounds. Here it is right here. Let's load it up and just hear this playback. So you can tell right off the bat, this one has a completely different pattern to it. And you can go back to any of these presets and you'll see that down here is where all the patterns are controlled. And how it works is each of these keys, each of the white keys has a different phrase intensity. And you'll see that it's numbered 1 through 6, with 6 being the highest intensity and 1 being the lowest intensity. If I click on the 1 for the first preset we tried, let's just go ahead and see what that sounds like. Sounds really good. Let's go ahead and go on to the other phrases and just progressively build it up. So that sounds really good to my ears, and you may be wondering with the drums how I'm making it work so well with the frequencies and it not clashing. Well, that's because on my drum track here is of course the drums, but on Relic itself I've actually placed a instance of Track Spacer, which is this awesome little plugin by Waves Factory, and it allows me to duck certain frequencies from my piano track. That way the drums can come in, and I'm only isolating the top end so that I can preserve some of the higher frequencies from the drums and they cut into the piano and balance everything out. And you can hear it because once I bring it in, it allows space to be carved for the top end of the drums. Otherwise, the piano will kind of overpower the drums. And inside of the drum track itself, I went in and actually made my own preset. You won't find Classic Stomp inside of Symphonic Elements drums. This is something that I customized myself from another preset. And I really just tweaked the shape of the low drums here. So if I just go and solo this part, it's really loud if I leave it up here and boomy, but I like how they have the shape control here to kind of lessen some of that boominess. It's almost like a transient shaper, and you can tell that it takes some of that ambient echo out of the lower drums. and that's all the way down. But somewhere in the middle really helps with balancing the boominess and it working well with the instance of Relic. And then also for the high drums, I actually took the Focus EQ and just bumped it up a little bit. And this is what it sounds like at default here. And I like that they have this handy crossfade in the middle so you can kind of blend in between the two. So really useful, and it almost sounds like this video is about symphonic elements drums because I keep talking about it. It's just because I've been really exploring it lately and I really find it useful for this classic stomp kind of sound. So I'm just going to go back to my preset here that I was using, classic stomp. That way I got all my settings back. And let's explore Relic some more. Okay, so that was just the first preset. This is the preset that you get out of the box called Run With Me. I'm gonna go and take the solo off the drum so we can hear everything together now. And let's explore some of these other presets inside here. So we tried all the colors everywhere. I think Hope Isn't Lost is another good preset that I heard earlier. And maybe let's just disengage this pattern I have for right now. Let's go ahead and mute it. And then maybe we can play in something with musical typing here to test out a different sound. Yeah, that sounds really good. And also too, I'm using Scalar for my chords. Love Scalar, I use it all the time. And right now I'm just working in a key of C minor. And we got the chords laid out. I've binded this section here so I can play back all of these different chords, and I'm playing it directly into Virtual Pianist. And now I've noticed the sound with this is a little subdued, so we can actually use these character controls over here to control the piano sound and maybe explore something that's a little more forward and bright. So it sounds like Tonk is a little bit more bright, but we also have this slider over here for dark and light, and we can kind of control the overall character just by sliding it up. And that gets really bright. So maybe I'll leave it on like full and see what it sounds like with the light slider moved up. Let's hear that back. And that sounds pretty good. And then we also have these finisher effects over here where we can change the overall finisher effect that's applied. And you have different options over here for color, transformation, and remix. There's a lot of different finisher effects that are inside of these menus. As well as the ambience, you have different options for ambience. So room and reverbs, echoes and delays, and a combination of both of those. And then there's also a mastering section over here too, where you can change how much pedal noise is involved, the amount of dynamics, as well as the tuning too. So let's just go ahead and maybe explore maybe some of these other ambiences. Sounds pretty good. Let's try some of these other finisher effects too. That vinyl hi-fi sounds pretty good. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. What else do we have? Vinyl lo-fi? Gramophone? Ooh, we even have a brighter please finisher effect. So maybe we'll take the slider down and see what that sounds like. So super useful. I mean, I like these finisher effects because they can kind of help get you into a pocket that you want to with your sound and make it so much easier than pulling out a separate plugin for EQing purposes and compression. I mean, it's all kind of built into this plugin itself. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more presets inside here. Cello Cream was a good one. Yeah, very cinematic. What if we put it on the full character? Or Tonk even? I'm curious what this would sound like with a separate MIDI pattern here. Let's go ahead and change this out for a track alternative. And I'll just go ahead and create a new section and just make a MIDI part here. And let's just lay down a C3. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And let's even change maybe the drum part here. Let's go into my big drums and just see what we got. So I actually can go back out to my favorites and see what other presets I have here. Oh, of course I need to be on SE drums here. And you can already kind of hear like what I was talking about with all the drums being really fast paced. So I had to like customize my own preset to match it. But with this like more syncopated Relic preset, I think it'd be pretty fitting to find something that's a little more upbeat. Rim shot dance. Let's see what that sounds like. And actually, if I want a different pattern, I need to create a track alternative for this as well. And we can explore some of these built-in phrases. Now, this is a similar setup as well because going from C2 all the way up to C4, it increases in drum intensity as you go up these different patterns. As you can see. So let's go ahead and see what this sounds like. It might be a little too intense though, is what I'm thinking. And I think that sounds pretty cool. I really like that cello cream though. It sounds pretty darn cool. And let's see what it sounds like without that finisher effect. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Anyways, guys, this is how I've been using Virtual Pianist RELIC, and I love this imperfect upright piano. I think it's the perfect tagline or subtitle for this newest edition of Virtual Pianist because it really is imperfect, but it has such a rich sound to it. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.